We are in the midst of the greatest global crisis in decades, one that is devastating lives, exposing injustices, and intensifying inequities. The impact on education alone has been staggering. Early closure has affected nearly 700,000 Oklahoma students and their families. Parents have stepped into the role of educator, many while also balancing work from home orders. Teachers have been forced to limit their instruction to virtual classrooms, online learning platforms, or handouts. But it's easy to focus on the negative impacts. What if, instead, we direct our energy to the opportunity in front of us? Before this pandemic, we often talked about the need to reimagine school, where students were in the driver's seat of their own learning, parents were deeply involved, and communities defined what school looked like in unique and holistic ways. But the past few weeks have forced us into an unprecedented moment where these conversations aren't just luxuries of the future, but are necessities of now. Consider for a moment that how we educate hasn't changed in more than a century. Then overnight, it had to. The traditional industrial model of school was created for a time long behind us. But now we're at the cusp of a new era in education. What would it look like to seize the innovation potential of this moment? At this fork in the road, we have two options. We can either restart what we were doing pre-pandemic, or we can rethink and redesign learning as we know it. This choice represents perhaps the greatest opportunity for changing the course of schooling in our state. The coming months are pivotal as school communities grapple with both the realities of this crisis and the road ahead. During this time, schools will be faced with three core jobs: responding to meet the immediate needs of families, recovering to heal and recoup learning loss while reflecting on lessons learned, and reinventing, where we take those lessons and adapt to better meet students' needs. The Oklahoma Public School Resource Center team believes that we can work with our state's educators to use this critical period to rethink and reimagine school. Together, we will create a diverse coalition of key stakeholders to share their unique perspectives. We will reflect on the events and choices you made in this moment. We will tend to the trauma and loss your community experienced. We will prioritize and plan for reimagining the student experience, and we will implement these plans, then reflect on how those design choices impact student learning. We all acknowledge the world is changing, and while we don't yet know how these moments will play out, we do believe that the choices each school community makes will have a major impact on how their trajectory unfolds. Together, we will take the lessons you've learned through distance learning to improve students' experience when we return to school. Together, we'll listen to your school community about their diverse needs, reflect on your response to this crisis, make key design decisions to support the many needs of your students and teachers, and create a plan forward, borrowing the most impactful resources when we need them, and creating our own when what we need doesn't yet exist. Begin your journey to reimagine school by sharing in our brief survey your experiences thus far. We'll use this information to partner with you in the process of reinvigorating your school for the road ahead.